Without further ado, we do have Major Chur and also Captain Kaneshiro. Hold on, Matt. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Major. So they will be able to give us an update on some of the things that are going on in our neighborhood and some of the initiatives of the police department. Major Chur.
Honored for me to be here today representing the Honolulu Police Department. My name is Willam Chur. I am the commander of Honolulu Police Department District 5, known as Kalihi. Captain Gerald Kaneshiro, in case it gets too ugly, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Kalihi, very historical neighborhood, very, very vibrant neighborhood, and I have certainly enjoyed my assignment here in Kalihi. This is the third town hall meeting like this that I've attended with Representative Ching. Kalihi has a very wide variety of residents and businesses, as you know. 35 square miles, 40,000 residents. There are so many major highways and thoroughfares that go through Kalihi, starting from the Pali Highway, Kilihi, Dillingham, Nimitz, King Street. There's a saying that if you're going anywhere, you're going to drive through Kalihi. And that brings a lot of vehicular, a lot of car traffic through this district. And obviously there are issues that occur whenever you have so many cars in this relatively small area. For your information, Kalihi starts at about the New Guam Valley. So our district includes the Pali Lookout all the way down, straight down to Honolulu. It kind of veers around downtown and Chinatown, and then it extends west to about the area of Red Hill. So Kalihi Kalama, it extends to Salt Lake, Honolulu, and we have the airport. We have two major military bases for Chaffin and Hickam that are within the district, and we have the airport. In addition to that, we have three of the largest public housing communities on the island, so that also creates issues for the district. In terms of what people are most interested in, obviously, is, well, what's the crime like in Kalihi? And I would have to say that we're very similar to most of the other 7 districts, most of the other 8 districts on the island. Our violent crime rate tends to be very low. We're very pleased about that, but our property crime rates tend to be high. And when I'm talking about property crime, I'm talking about car break-ins. We have a lot of those. Burglaries, both house burglaries and business burglaries, they tend to be high. A lot of graffiti cases, a lot of general theft cases. So that's obviously, because of the property crime rate is so high, obviously it's going to be a big focus for my district as well as the rest of the department. We do have a strategic plan that Chief Kealoha has recently unveiled, and there are 10 outcomes that he's looking for by the year 2015. And 3 of the most important outcomes are that we will have the lowest crime and the least fear of any city in the United States. We're working very, very hard to move in that direction. All police officers are working in that direction. We will solve chronic problems much faster because we're going to be focusing resources at taking care of the chronic problems. That is, police will not only respond to complaints of nuisances and crime, we'll try to get to the root of all these things and take care of it, and hopefully that way there'll be less of these crimes that will be reported after that. And we'll have safer traffic. That's a big initiative of the strategic plans. We recognize there are way too many traffic accidents in the city of Honolulu, and this is especially acute in Kalihi because we have so many, as I said, so many major streets and highways that pass volunteers, so if you want to come out, it's going to be Saturday, June the 4th, from 8 o'clock until about noon. So, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Major. We appreciate all your hard work and your officers and serving and protecting our neighborhood. Thank you so much. And it's nice to know that that violent crime is low in this area. That's refreshing to know, especially for us that are mommies and daddies, right? Okay, we have one of our last speakers here with the community, a gentleman I've known for quite some time, who's been a wonderful leader on our Liliha Neighborhood Board number 14, Chairman of the Liliha Heights Neighborhood Board, Mr. Bob Stubbs.
Neighborhood Board 14, of course, represents this area. Honolulu, Kamehameha Heights, Liliha Heights. The responsibility of the neighborhood boards is purely advisory in nature. They were established many, many years ago to bring the interests of the community to our elected officials and state and city agencies. We are a city-funded agency, we found that through the neighborhood board process, we've been able to work very effectively with our elected officials. Representative Ching, Senator Chuckleton, the mayor's office. We've worked an awful lot with the mayor's office more recently. We end up doing a lot with the police department and a lot with the Department of Transportation, Mr. Ching knows, yeah. But we try to determine through the testimony and the advising council of the members of the community what the priorities are for the community. Our number one priority for this community is to finally accomplish the Koikini Extension Project, which would take from the end of this street through that vacant lot and attach to Hollow Street and create a kind of eliminate a traffic hazard in that area where cars have to make multiple stops and avoid cars speeding down the road, cars running the stop sign, and avoiding collisions. We're very grateful for Doug Chen and Wade Yoshioka of the Transportation Department have just been super. But we've been very, very fortunate, and we're very, very blessed with some elected officials that care very, very much about our community. And I'm just grateful that I've had the opportunity to work with them and with so many good, motivated members of our community. We have some very dedicated people.
Something I'm going to share tonight, a new project that we're launching. And so about a year ago, I was invited to go to Kentucky for a special seminar for women legislators, and it was to address diabetes. And I don't know if you know, but I did not know this about our district. I did know that Hawaii was quite high in diabetes. In fact, the fact is that it saddens me to report that we are number 2 highest in diabetes in the U.S. The second highest. At one point we were the highest, but we're the second highest. Virginia has now outpaced us. But not only are we the highest, what I found out was this Liliha area, this specific area, qualifies for the highest tier of the different categories. And so this Kentucky seminar that we had representatives from the Mayo Clinic, experts in diabetes, and the Mayo Clinic actually endorsed and went over a provocative, really interesting, extremely effective program called the Blue Zones Vitality Project. I happened to be in Washington, D.C. at the same time that the author of this project was speaking, and I met Mr. Dan Butler. And Mr. Dan Butler is a fascinating man who went and traveled the entire world. He talked about things that make sense for Liliha. He talked about, first of all, clean communities. And what he found was happy people are healthy people. Healthy people are happy people. Number one, it's revitalization, clean neighborhoods, so we all want to come out and walk, and wouldn't that be a good neighborhood security watch? Yeah, right? More eyes, more ears. Number two, it's convenient access to fresh fruits and vegetables, which, by the way, there's some in the back. Have second helpings if you want. Number three is sense of purpose, joy, and civic participation. With that, I have Juanita. Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Representative Ching, for inviting me to come here and participate in your town hall meeting. And I have been doing farmers markets for about 10 plus years now, working with community groups, the Farm Bureau, and other nonprofit organizations to bring back that awareness of what Corinne had mentioned earlier about being part of our community, allowing farmers from our local areas throughout the state to provide healthy, nutritional, fresh foods for all our people. And it's been stated, and it's a fact, that our small family farms have been responsible since the existence of man to the islands to provide the people with the food they need to keep us sustainable. So when someone asks me, what is food sustainability? I always reflect on what I was raised with in the generations that came before me, that our small family farms, small local farms, always took care of the village. They took care of all the people of Hawaii by providing fresh, nutritional, healthy foods. This new one that's starting is the Seventh-day Adventist Church is putting one on in your district. It will start on June 7th, and it's going to be a Tuesday evening market from 4:30 to 7:30. We hope to have somewhere between 20 to 25 local Hawaii-only vendors there, providing everything from fresh fruits and vegetables from our local farms throughout the island and the state, and also having food vendors there that can provide meals so that you can sit down and again get with your community. They'll have sitting areas where you can talk story and just get to know one another and be able to get the fresh, healthy local produce from your local farmers. So it's a great project that we started about 4 to 5 months ago, and to Carol Rose from Seventh-day Adventist approached me at one of the farmers markets I helped start and manage at St. Clement's on Thursday evenings, and asked, could we do this in the Liliha area at her church? And of course we said, yes, you can, because we really like to see more community-oriented farmer market versus large commercial markets that sometimes lose sight of the purpose of bringing community together, and they get more into the commercial aspect of it. So I think this will be a great asset to this community. It will bring more awareness, as Corinne was saying, for eating healthy, being healthy, and any questions you have or concerns about the farmers market, I'm definitely here and available to talk to you about it.
So here we have Jackie Boland. Thank you for joining us, Jackie.
Well, good evening, everybody. Most of you probably are familiar with AARP. Anybody remember? No? Okay. Well, AARP is a membership organization for people 50 and older, and what we do is we try to help people live their best life by engaging them in advocacy, public education, and community service. And we cover a variety of issues, but pretty much health and long-term care, what we call livable communities, which would be transportation and housing, and then economic security. So the Blue Zones project actually is one of my favorite projects, and I really wish that we were doing a large-scale Blue Zones project here in Hawaii. But the thing that was really exciting to me about it is I do think we have the various pieces. We just finished a tax aid season. We have volunteers that provide free tax service to low-income folks with preference given to people 60 and older. And we have, I don't know if you know, but we have a volunteer information center in Kalihi, down over by the Department of Motor Vehicles. So you can pick up free information about anything related to aging in that information center, whether it be how to modify your home so you can live in it longer, to putting together a physical activity plan, to, you know, what do we do to protect Social Security for the next generation. You go to our information center, it's open every day, everything in it is free, 9:30 to 2 o'clock. And I brought this handout. It tells you about 20 different project areas that we're working in, but one of the ones that I am the lead on is a project called Complete Streets. And I first became interested in it when I was trying to get people to go out and walk, and they'd go out and walk, and they'd tell me, oh, I tried, but I fell and I broke my ankle because there was no sidewalk. Or I had to drive to Kapiolani Park and I got in an accident. You know? I kept hearing these things, and so turns out Hawaii is the most dangerous place in the country to be a pedestrian 65 or older. So we've been working on this Complete Streets law. The legislature, thank you, passed a law last year at the state level to pass Act 54, which created a Complete Streets policy for the state. And now what we're doing is we're working on the county level part of that. So the idea is that whenever Honolulu goes to repair something and do a major bit of maintenance or to build something new, they should maybe take into account all users of the road, not just cars, and see if there's things that can be done. So for example, last year in Kailua, they did this huge, like 6-month sewage system project where they had the road torn up. But when it was repaved, they kind of forgot to consider that there were bike lanes on either side that could have just been paved over and made into a really nice facility, and instead it created kind of a dangerous ledge, if you will. So Complete Streets really has every level from maintenance to planning to engineering. Look at, is there a way we could accommodate people with disabilities? Is there a way we could accommodate a senior citizen so that we can get out and walk safely in the community and bike safely in the community? I think that's good, and thank you very much for having me here.
And remember, vitality through civility. It can happen. Let's get back to those good values. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Mahalo.